I'm not where I want to be, but I'm in what was once a dream. So if I do some quick math, the future equals a dream come true. Since 1992, In All Honesty, a podcast by OLAVEORAWO.
Welcome to another episode of the In All Honesty podcast. My fabulous name is OLAVEORAWO, and with me in studio are a bunch of very beautiful girls. Wamekuja kuongea mambo ya contraceptives. I hear there's a lot of what is it called, shame around contraceptives. I thought around abortion. I didn't think about around contraceptives actually. But we'll start with introductions. How you'd like to be known. You can start from there. You can start from Viveca's side.
Oh, okay. My name is Viveca Joy.
Yeah.
I'm a nurse by profession.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to be here to share my insight on contraceptives.
Thank you so much. I didn't know if I'd get a medic or like someone in the field. So I'm super, super grateful. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ivy. I'm a journalist by profession and currently I'm a writer at Convo Africa.
Tuko kwa. We're in the same. Thank you so much for
welcome.
coming. Ciru.
Hi guys, I'm back again. Ciru here.
Co-host.
In-house.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming, and thank you for coming so much. It's such a huge topic. Usually I don't know if anyone would come and is willing to discuss it. So you don't know how much gratitude I have in my heart for accepting to come and discuss this topic. And as usual, I do put out a prompt on my socials and ask people for their opinions and their experiences, and people did send that in. So I'll read them, and those will basically be our talking points. So if it triggers something, if something comes to mind, if you want to react on it, just let me know. And no, don't let me know. Just start talking. So the post I put up on my socials was, what do you know and how do you feel about contraceptives and abortion? The first response I got here is, contraception is fine, but abortion is a big no for me. So that's usually a thing. And I feel like this is also, it's rooted in the church to some extent. And I also, this is like a fun fact because I did not know this. The Catholic are against contraceptives as well.
I did not know this.
I didn't know that I'm a Catholic.
You are.
Oh, they didn't know.
Hey,
Haujawaambia unafanya tabia mbaya upewe advice.
Sijafunguka roho.
That's interesting.
Apparently. So I think maybe that's where it comes from. But abortion, I know, is a no-no. Abortion is considered murder in other people's...
Even in the constitution, like abortion, if it's not medical, right?
Yes.
If it's not a medical abortion, you're ukipatikana unaweza kwa ndani. But it happens.
But according to the society, whether it's medical or not, it's a no.
Yeah, according to the society, that's true.
Yeah. But there are some, like there are abortions that are allowed. Like if you've done an ultrasound at maybe 20 weeks or 25 weeks or 30 weeks of pregnancy, and you have a child that has a disability,
they allow that.
Yes.
In Kenya right now.
Yeah, you can choose to abort.
If your child is disabled.
Like if the child has multiple congenital anomalies.
Tell the audience.
That is a good move. That is a good move because like this
That may be nice.
Yeah.
So much grace to parents.
Because a child with multiple congenital anomalies, it will cost you a lot. It will cost you a fortune to raise that child.
And
if you're not able,
mentally, financially,
emotionally, it's not easy. Because one, this child will be discharged home maybe on oxygen. And you can't afford the rates of oxygen per day. Or maybe you can't even buy an oxygen or refill the cylinder.
And niulize before we continue, mtu anafikangaje ndo anakuwa na mtoto wako disabled? Like, how does it happen?
Genetics. You just
genetics.
never know. Yeah,
and
most
also,
of them are genetical, and you just don't know if you have these genes or not.
And also some diseases like diabetes.
Yeah.
It does that a lot.
Yeah,
Diabetes.
It affects the child.
Yes, the child's growth. Yes.
Oh,
Diabetes does, and it causes a lot of miscarriages.
But then diabetes, if it is not well controlled during pregnancy, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why you are encouraged to do all the 8 antenatal care, focused antenatal care.
I will need you somewhere after this. Are you in the gyna department?
I'm not in the gyna department.
But you're passionate about this.
Yes.
I can tell. I have a question. To what point do you decide as a medic that abortion is possible? What do you have like limits? If I say my child is blind, can I choose an abortion, or will that be against, like, to what extent? Is it autism? What?
First of all, some diseases like blindness, you can't tell when the child is still
Oh, okay.
intrauterine, you
Oh,
know.
'cause they're
so it has to
closing
be
their eyes.
physical deformities.
It has to be physical deformities. So like if you have an encephaly, like a child who is missing some parts of the head, or the fingers or the legs, you see.
Also, if my child doesn't have legs, because I've seen people who are born without their legs from the waist down, are you allowed to abort?
It's your choice. Now we can't make that decision for you. But we can just tell you that we've done an ultrasound. These are the results. This child is having an extremely bigger skull, or
a big,
has no skull. We call it an encephaly, or has no limbs, lower limbs, upper limbs. There's some were born without lower limbs and upper limbs.
Yeah, they're just.
Maybe the intestines are out.
Oh my god!
Have you
So you're just given the whole feedback, and of course you're taken through a counseling process with a clinical psychologist, and then you decide if you want to do this or not.
Do you mention?
But then
that?
we also tell you the consequences of having the child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we tell you like consequences both ways.
So you're given you mentioned the option of abortion to the patient. Yes. That's allowed. Okay, interesting to know.
Have you met patients who still carry on with the pregnancy?
Yes.
With no limbs.
Yes, I have a colleague whose daughter was born with some deformities of the skull. And with the wife, they chose to have the baby. So they raised her until around 6 years.
She passed
Then
away.
she passed, yeah.
Honest
My
opinion,
Lord, may I have something
I think
to
for them
say?
it was just, they were told early. They were told like at 3 months.
something to
They were told at 3
They were told
months, but they still decided that, we don't want to lose this one. This is precious.
Hey, my Lord.
No.
And they decided to carry all that burden with them. But I can tell you, from what I saw, it wasn't easy.
Hey, my
Like
Lord.
they
I don't
were
want to give
in
out
hospital
dark humor.
day in, day out.
I understand where a parent comes from, where you want to hold on to the child, but do we ever consider even the pain of the child?
Yeah.
Throughout.
Like it's also emotionally taxing for you as a parent, as an adult. But can you imagine this child on tubes daily, in and out of hospital? Like that also is not unfair, as much as you feel this is your blessing, this you're willing to do it, but how much pain are they in? And I think this even plays into the point where I usually tell people one of the many reasons for
Not having
child free is if I had a child who needed special care, do I have the mental capacity to raise that child, knowing very well I might need to raise this child past 20 years? They'll not grow at year 18 at aqua independent like the rest. Do parents look at the entire life of this child, and if you will be available to cater to them like that? What if you leave? That we discussed during When Mother Left episode. What if you die and your child needs special attention?
We'll be there.
Yes, who will take care of them the way you take care of them? So I think
It's heavy. It's really
It's
heavy.
a very heavy decision anyway, but as for me,
You would
ngemwachia tu huko.
abort.
Yeah.
Mimi, I have
Kama negotiations is a route.
Hakuna negotiations because
But you know, it's
you'll be
also
subjecting
not
the
easy
child so
for-
much
it's
pain.
not
It's not also
easy.
so easy for some parents, because you can imagine some people come, this is their first pregnancy, they've lost like several others before,
True.
and this is the only thing they're holding on to, and they're excited that this is going to be their first child. And
Burning
all
issue.
you're getting the ultrasound is a child with multiple deformities.
Okay,
sorry. Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
I have an issue with parents who have been having miscarriages, and now you see your child, you get this child, they have deformities, and now you want to bring this child because of you and what you feel as a parent. Fucking accept it. I mean, go for psychology if you have to. Adopt. We have so many kids
children. We
who
have
need
to
to be
also-
adopted. Why are you bringing this child into this life?
We
Be
also
okay
have
with
to
it.
normalize. We also have to normalize cultures of adoption, surrogacy.
Yeah.
Zinaitwaje kina IVF, or maybe if you're infertile.
Yes.
Karibu niseme barren. I think barren is a.
Barren is in.
Like
Is when
someone
kabisa,
cannot completely give
100%.
birth.
But I thought barren is like an insult.
Yeah,
not? Like,
it's not a good
better
term.
terms for
Just
it.
saying fertile.
Yeah.
Infertility.
So I'm thinking that as Africans, we should also open ourselves up to that. Let's stop this culture for Mama Wakambo, Baba Wakambo. Have the capacity to love someone even if they are not your blood. What is this with I must
Accept
have mine?
it. Yes.
We should also we should also get used to, it's not a must to have a child. Si lazima. Si lazima.
saying.
Kuna watu
Yeah.
wanataka.
I think it
Adopt.
comes from a point of view, the societal pressure. And that's why unapata mtu eni lazima hata kama atakuja akikaa aje, and it's haifai kuko hivyo.
Most people succumb to your societal pressure.
That's the
Society
point.
most of the time.
I know of someone who's not able to have kids. She's wanted to have kids for a very long time. But imagine she accepted it. I think it's just like any sort of healing and trauma that you have in your life, childhood trauma. You have to go through counseling and steps of healing. It's the same thing as this. If you're not able to have a child, 100%, please adopt. If you've been having miscarriages after miscarriages, and I believe as a medic, you know that ikifika mahali where miscarriages are too much, you're told, wacha, because every time it makes your uterus weak, right?
Yeah.
So there is a high chance ukipata huyo mtoto atatoka kama yuko poa. Can you just accept it? Enda si lazima. You can love a child that you've adopted as your own.
You can extend love.
You can extend love.
But
If
we love our friends all the time. We love our partners all the time. Why
Why
is it so
can't you-
difficult
Exactly.
to just do
Sometimes
the
even
same?
strangers.
Yeah. Huyo mtoto akiwa mdogo. There are so many. If you visit all these children's homes, after class 8, I took it upon myself to go to these children's homes. And I remember there's this kababy. Oh my God. I've never forgotten her. She was so gorgeous. Gorgeous black beauty. She was like 3 months old, and I was like, I hope someone can come take this child. Kuna watoto wengi sana. The process might be a bit strenuous, but as long as you have your finances in order, they come and visit your home. You can even adopt a child, correct me if I'm wrong, as a single mom, as a single parent. You can adopt. Watakuja waangalie, how are your finances? Are you working? Is it a stable home? Are you okay? Na
Caroline
mwishowe.
Mutukos is adopted.
Oh, yeah. I know of someone who adopted her child like that. I went for a class for parental classes because I'm a mom, and parenthood doesn't come like that. And I had to deal with something so that I can be a good mom to my child. And there's this lady who said that she's joining the class because she wants to adopt. Wow. She's in the process of adopting.
That is so nice.
By the time we were done with the process, with the classes, they were like 6 weeks. She had gotten her baby.
Wow.
I was so happy for her. It's so possible. And she can't give birth to her own child, but she saw it fit to, because she really wanted a child, she saw it fit to extend that love to someone who needed it.
Also, nimekumbuka watu men who are told you don't support abortion but you are a deadbeat.
Shame on you.
Watoto waje tu hata kama watalindwa, we waje, eh? Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say the root of all this is societal pressure. So we should first deal with that. I don't know how, but maybe through campaigns. Ongelesha hawa mama uko, like, I think everyone, hata sio mama peke yake, because it takes two to bring a child. So yeah,
mentality shift. And also, like, when we are talking about, even as the world evolves, I feel like our health is getting worse. So we might have more people being more infertile in the future.
Yeah.
And even right now, I think it stands at
Actually,
one.
more people are infertile.
From what
Kwanza
age?
From
hii bracket
kitambo
ya
his-
20s to 30s.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh,
For
From
real.
bracket
no,
here?
it's true. No, it's true.
It's true. Most people are infertile right now. There was this meme. Just go to this family
true.
family
This
care
mean,
clinic.
unaweza pata
People are struggling.
you've been having sex without protection, ujaipata mimba.
You
Kumbe
are
wewe
talking
uko,
about that.
kumbe wewe.
when I did this episode in season 3, that's when I learned 1 in every 4 women has PCOS.
PCOS.
Yeah. And there were multiple people in the comments who said, me, I've just been having sex.
But
and
nothing.
I just been chilling. Juzi nimeenda nikapewa diagnosis ya PCOS. Watu wakiendelea tu na maisha yao wenyewe, the ones who didn't want children are like a blessing. It's from heaven.
The
You
one who
move.
wanted
The ones
on
who want
shock.
children now have to look for alternatives. But yeah. It's a possible.
Also, I think
We are too young.
if you can,
Yeah.
don't do abortion. Just give birth if you can.
That's
Why?
your
Like,
chance.
Oh, if you can.
If you
there's
can.
an option, if you
yeah,
can.
like
Kwa
if you
nini?
like make abortion your last
Your last
priority.
option.
I'm not talking about
Oh,
your
see,
topic ya mtu ako na congenital anomalies, but I'm talking about just a normal person who just
As a
wants to
choice.
abort juu ataki mtoto.
So
Ayuko ready,
Oh,
ama
like-
the baby daddy has said, oh, me, I'm not still ready to,
But-
to be a father, and you're not ready to be a mom. I'm just saying, if you can have that child, even if you're 20, 19, whatever, just have that child.
You said 19.
Because you don't know what you're going to face.
Yeah.
You don't know
Hiyo
what might
time
come.
utafika 28 ama 30. It comes with a
that's
lot.
what you're saying, like from
because are there, ovarian cysts are also there.
okay.
Yeah,
There's
your
a-
fertility rate goes
goes
down
down.
with time.
With time, if you want.
Hey, lakini I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but also
But if you can prevent it, okay, if you can
Yes, we
prevent
start
being
from
pregnant,
Yeah, we start from preventing
yeah, that's
it.
why
So
you
that you don't get to
if you can
abortion.
prevent being pregnant,
Yes, do it.
But if in case you're pregnant, like just try and give birth to that child.
Kidogo
I know it's not easy because maybe you're not
You provoked
psychologically
thoughts.
Yeah.
prepared to be a mom, and
Me, I
you don't know
think
if
of the
it is
parent
going
a lot
to
of times. Me,
interfere
I
with
think
your-
of the child.
Yeah.
Ndio, the
A
child.
lot of the times, because there are children you see out here and you know their parents should not have been parents. Because honestly, mbona mtoto anapitia vitu anapitia hivyo. They were
Na kulikuwa
innocent.
na
They had
option.
no right
Na
to
kulikuwa
come
na
here and
option.
suffer. Like mbona ukwe tu na mzazi mjinga, si fair.
ni kweli unaweza kuwa na mzazi mjinga. But
It's
there
not
are
fair to
also
the kid.
a lot
Yeah.
of consequences that come with abortion.
Yeah.
if you
There's-
do it
like
right,
if you talk with people who've done abortion, it comes with a lot of regrets.
That's true.
You get to a point you want to have that baby and you can't.
you can't.
But I also say, even if you're seeking abortion, first know who you are, because you know there are
Yeah.
people you can suggest abortion to, but they are deep in their faith. Huyo ni mtu akipata abortion, that thing will haunt them for the rest of their
lives.
lives. But there's someone who maybe they are a bit open-minded. Abortion is just another process.
It might be that person.
For them, they'll get through it faster. So when you are also advising it to someone, consider where they stand in their belief system, in their faith, so that it's something they don't deal with after that. Now they're constantly mentally unstable because of this one decision they took that the rest of you felt was okay, but it's not okay by them. Yeah.
This is what I think about abortion. Personally, first of all, as I say this, like, start with protection, contraceptives if you have to, condoms kama hizi leo tumebeba kiss ni si sure babe ni kiss inanukia. Use this, like, have this in your bag. I tell women all the time, have this in your bag. Every other time, don't walk around without
Tell them
condoms.
it's not shameful.
It's not shameful. Please go to my podcast and listen.
And they're packaged so well.
Then they're pretty, yeah. Unatembea now, because apart from pregnancy, because that's the only thing that people are scared of, there are also diseases out here. Utatoka hapo na herpes, my friends. Utakuwa unapata vidonda hapo unashangaa.
From the look of things, people are more scared of pregnancy than actual disease.
They are.
Hata hawaogopi AIDS. Just
Hawaogopi.
wanaogopa tu mimba.
Wanaendanga wanakunywa, what is it called?
Prep.
Ile ya after. Now they have a friend anazikunywanga kama mchele.
Me, I think
what is
it's
this
wild,
world
considering
anyway?
me, I'm so scared even of yeast. Hata pH balance usimess nayo. Na kuna mtu hata ogopi. Gonorrhea.
So, like, start with protection, contraceptives if you have to. But
You
me
can
usually,
start at abstinence.
okay, well,
At celibacy.
anza na abstinence, lakini lazima ujue mwenye utaoa kama anaweza kazi.
You must do trial and error.
So, si ndio kataolendera ni muhimu. Unatumia condoms, contraceptives. I don't advocate for that much because they fucked me up. But however, what I'm trying to say is, like, start from that protection point. Lakini huyo mtoto wa P2 ama wa contraceptive akikuja tu, hey, my friend, mi nasema visit Marie Stopes if you're not ready to have a child. Because as a mother, I love my child 100%. I was ready to have her. I knew.
Oh, she's a how?
Yeah, she's turning 18 in August. I knew all my life. Nikiulizwa, by what time? We used to have those discussions as kids. Unataka kupata mtoto ukiwa what age? By what time do you want to get married? And I used to say, only for my child. I want to have a child by the time I'm 25. You can calculate my age. By the time I was 25, I knew. Growing up, I knew by the time I got 25, I want a baby. She's a withdrawal baby, an oops baby. But venye kalikuja, because I had prepared myself mentally, I was okay with that. But I had gotten pregnant before. I have aborted twice.
Wow.
Yes. The last one took me to hospital. And I vowed that I will never abort again.
Uko ule daktari alikuwa anaitwa nani?
Daktari
wa?
Ngani?
There was a doctor who trended. He used to do abortions for girls, for high school girls. Uko Backstreet.
I think I remember the story.
You
but
remember
I don't remember
something
the
wa
name.
Rigi or something.
Wanafanyanga na zile
Thika Road.
makuchuma na ye Githurai.
It was
Yeah,
some
yes, Githurai.
ridiculous
Yes.
story. I think so. And I was just like, imagine if this is the situation. Let's normalize.
Let's legalize.
First, let's normalize seeking professional help.
But
When it comes to abortion.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes, let's shed that shame so that when I need abortion, I go for the right. I go for it to the right place.
But the thing is this, babe. If I compare that abortion that I had that took me to hospital, I went to a crook doctor.
Yeah.
And it took
know
me
how
to
many of
Hosi.
them are there?
And it's because I couldn't afford. I had an insurance card. I could have gone, but that insurance doesn't cover that. But when I went to Hosi, the doctor was like, next time, nipigie simu. Call me if you need to abort. You'd rather do it the right way. But after that, now when I had my child, I got pregnant again. I wasn't ready to have that child because my marriage wasn't working. I wasn't ready to be a single mom of two kids.
Yeah.
I did not have the mental capacity nor the financial capacity to do that. But I had the money to go to the right people. I went and paid medic who does this and nikatoka nikiwa sawa. So there is that thing where if the reason why abortion is expensive, abortion is close to like 15K, 10K plus. It's because of the shame, and it's not legalized in this country. If it was legalized, first of all, ingeshuka na watu wanasemanga if it's legalized it will be a lot. There'll be a lot. But it will be less, and that's what people don't understand. And that is why that girl mwenye ako high school, mwenye amepata mimba, mwenye, first of all, it's the education system that fails them, because we are not taught about sex in school. You're not, there's nothing, unaambiwa tu utapata mimba, that's it. Hakuna kitu ingine unaongeleshwa. Parents don't talk to their kids about that, because now she doesn't know about that. She's gone and had sex, she's gotten pregnant because she's scared. Ataambia beshte yake amsaidie waende wachukue 2 pills, tunakwanga 2000 ama 1000. Ata kusanya do aende apate 2 pills to 2,000, aende atoe mimba, na hiyo mimba there is a likelihood that itamu affect. Kasi hiyo atachukua hiyo pesa aende kule kwa crook doctors, alipia kwa 2,000, atolewe mimba. That's how she'll end up barren, infertile. Ulisema barren ni jina mbaya. Infertile, all she's going to lose her life. And there are so many deaths out here for young girls because of rogue abortions.
Actually, there was a statistic at some point that found that the most abortions are done by people in actual marriages. Like it's their second, third child. It's not even the young girls as much. So it's really sad. And also, if we normalized it, there's a process to it. Because me, I worked in
you told me, babe. I remember. I
worked at a hospital. I was doing communications at the time. So I was assigned to a post-abortion care project at the time. Hey, my Lord. Hey, my, pray for me.
Release.
Pray for me. Because, first of all, the people the girls who were attending to were 16 to 22. Wow. The oldest I met, I think, was 24.
Usually,
And then the process now they were doing, because apparently, I don't know, there's no education. Even me, I didn't have as much information at the time. But what I knew is that they knew that abortion was illegal, but being attended to for, what is it called? Incomplete pregnancy is legal. That one you can go to any hospital and say, I'm miscarrying, so you can treat me.
Yeah.
So it's about to get graphic, trigger warning.
Okay.
So these kids had something like, there's one who said, of course, the wire hanger, you put it through, you straighten it, put it through your vagina.
I thought it's a
Sokota.
No, it's real.
No, it's real.
Sokota paka, you see blood, and then now you can come into hospital and say, I'm miscarrying, and therefore you can be treated normally. There's a girl who, that was her third one actually. She was 16 and her boyfriend, she kept saying her boyfriend is like 26. Did you a truck driver in Mombasa?
Oh my God.
Hangemlipia abortion, that's
here, listen to her method of her and her boyfriend aborting so that they can come in for the whatever, incomplete pregnancy. She'd lie on the floor and this man would step on and kick on her tummy until blood came out of her vagina. Then she can come in for the service.
How old was that girl?
16.
It's a child.
So that's, first of all, they are underage.
Like she's underage. The guy is a pedophile.
Yes. There are one case is so layered. If you are to look at the multiple things that are happening in one case, like 700 people should be in jail for this one case.
That was
But the things people don't even, when I see people seated in church and just condemning and just looking and pointing and I'm like, you don't even know what is on the ground, what is happening.
They don't know.
Msichana akikwambia, this man gives me 300 bob. That's why she's dating this man. And she does not know any better. If she's 16, she was probably groomed.
And that's because at home things are hard.
At home hakuna kitu. Like, there is no hope for this girl.
You know, the issue with the church,
things comes in.
The church always assumes that everything is as it is written in the Bible or in their church rules. and that's how they want it to remain. They don't want to look at the other side of things, while they're still members of the same church. Actually, even the respected members of the same church who do this same thing.
That is
That
the
they
point.
do.
But
Even
when they're there preaching, they tell people how you're not supposed to use contraceptives and abortion is bad and you're supposed to abstain, and they know very well that
they are doing it.
people are not
behind the
abstaining,
curtains.
people are having sex, people are getting abortions done
Yeah.
every time, and they just want to assume the good part of things. It is
And then
written,
shame
and
everyone
yeah,
else.
it is written, God condemns this and we have to follow this, but we really have to look at facts. What is happening to our society?
church is no longer a safe space nowadays.
It has never
because
even
the
been.
shame
People are just-
inaanzia huko.
That's true.
You're shamed for talking about sex. You're shamed for
Hata jina tu wenyewe.
talking to kids and teaching teenagers about sex.
sex.
And then the thing is, first of all, contraceptives, sex talk is not allowed. Sex ed is not allowed. Contraceptives are not allowed, as I hear in some churches. Alafu upate mimba, abortion is not allowed. What are you supposed to do as a
then
woman?
hiyo miaka
Again,
16 ni
getting
story
that,
tena.
getting a child out of wedlock is
Is
also
also
wedlock.
so wanataka ufanye.
But there are few churches that like there are 2 or 3 churches that have invited me in the past. They're teaching the younger youths about these topics,
Oh,
Which churches there were?
There was one in Kayole.
Ni hizi za kawaida
Kayole.
hizi zenye tunaonanga kwa TV?
No.
Or the grassroots?
Yeah.
I think it's because
So
probably
they're in
they're
the
trying,
problem.
yeah.
Yes. They can see what's going on the ground.
Yeah.
Huku kwingine, they have no fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah. And these kids were so open by they were asking questions like, ukimeza P2 unafaa kumeza after how long, like they know about P2. Wanakuuliza ukifanya abortion nini inafanyika, like they're anxious, they know these things, and these are kids who are like 12, 13, 14 asking you these questions. So it shows you that even the younger kids who you assume are so innocent wanazijua na wanajua P2 na pia wanajua kutumia.
The generation of kids that we have right now are so different. Ata achana na Gen Z, Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
They're so sharp.
I was talking with Olive before we were here on our way, and I was telling her the way there's this kid who's being paraded online very differently and not as a child, and there are some pedophile comments there. There this child is being paraded. Let me tell you, this child itafika mahali anajua hizi vitu. These kids know these things. You have to teach them. There is akuna mambo ya mami baba hapa. Apana, you start as early as 4-3 years kakianza kwenda kucheza nje. Unamwambia no one is supposed to touch your body. When someone touches you here, you scream for mommy. You start there. Mkiendelea kukua wakubwa, when a kid tells you she likes a boy, aki don't shame that child because they start wako na emotions and they don't know what it is.
Tukiwa primary huko, those are formative years.
Yeah.
Utapata if you had friends who are boys and you're a girl, ilikuwa inakuwa problem.
Yeah, it's exactly.
It even storms from hapo.
Yes. Because Mimi, there's my daughter kept mentioning this kaboy. Kamusa, oh, is your friend? Hey, they like each other, but they don't know what it is.
They don't know how to
They
process
don't know what
it.
it is. To them, it's just my good friend.
Yeah.
Wanakimbizana huko hadi walimu walikuwa wananiambianga wawili hawawezi achanishwa. That's the point you start talking to your child about these things.
Yeah.
And I reached out to the mom and I was like, naona in future tuko na kaharusi hapa. As in just to try also, don't shame these kids. You just talk to them. You're not entertaining it at that age, but they have two emotions. They don't know how to process. Talk to them about sex depending on their age. Pole pole tu. Itafika mahali utamuonesha hizi ni nini. I have a teenager in the house. Mi nimemuonesha condoms. Nimemwambia tunaanzianga hapa. If you must have sex, this is it. The moment you shame sex and then that child gets pregnant, hizo ndo huyo mtoto anaenda kuchukua abortion, kufanywa abortion.
Yeah, true.
And I remember in the parenting episode, just this season, there's something Jones said. He said, I don't teach, because we were addressing the idea of what if you find out your child is queer. And he said, I'm not teaching my child who to love. I'm teaching my child how to love.
Yeah.
Who they love is none of my business. Just how they should love, how they should treat people. So it's the same thing. You're not teaching your child not to have sex. In the case where they need to have sex, let your child have the information of what to do during that time. So, hiyo ni point moja peke yake.
Imagine.
Stop the shaming.
Someone said, Aki, I've been saying I'm going to try contraception for the past 3 years. Bado naimba tu. Baki hapo. Kama bado hujapata ya mimba, hiyo unatumia. It's fine.
Unatumia nini? Let's start there.
Someone told me for males.
Yeah.
Because at some point I used to think that sisi ladies tunaumia sana with these contraceptive things. Tunabeba vitu mingi. The emotions that inakuja nayo, the hormonal imbalance, the hormonal change, everything. And for men, wako tu. Wanadonjo tu. Wako tu. And then at some point nikakuja nikaona it's all about us. Hawataki. It's all about us and not them. Because at the end of the day, hiyo abortion ni utaenda peke yako.
That's true.
Huyo mtoto kama the father is a deadbeat, if atakwambia utoe ama whatever consequence.
There's a high likelihood.
Thank you. Ni utakuwa peke yako. So at some point, ni sawa hata sisi wenyewe to take care of ourselves. Because someone told me yesterday for males, their only contraception is pull and pray.
Hey.
But for ladies,
they don't even
injections. They don't even pray.
But I'll say this, mi nitashinda nikisema hivi. Carry condoms.
For ladies, it's not shameful at all.
And use it. Usiambe, let's kwambia ati apana. And they all say, have you noticed, all men say that their pull-out game is good. I have never had
they're
a man.
allergic to latex.
And they're allergic na haitoshei.
Na unatumia kikombe ya plastic.
Me think let's embrace going to the hospital.
Yes.
Find the right contraceptive for yourself.
Yes.
With right contraceptives, before you go to the hospital, first of all, try and practice abstinence. But if you like sex so much, then go to the hospital, see contraceptives. Find the right contraceptive for you. We start from there. Number one is the condom.
Condoms, guys. Condoms, please.
This one is the better option if used right.
Usirudie.
It prevents STIs, you know.
Wait.
Prevents HIV.
Asirudie nini?
Condom. Kuna tu rudia. Ona anacheka, he knows.
Ngoje, guys, decipher.
There are people who repeat condoms.
How?
Si unatoa alafu after break unarudisha.
Oh my God.
It doesn't have to be that bad.
Ama mtu anaenda anaiosha anavaa. Hamjasikia hizi poverty stories?
Okay, poverty stories sawa.
But also, do not be surprised if you find an elite man who wants to repeat this thing, because ni tatu peke yake na imeisha.
Yeah.
I have experienced things, guys.
So number one, we start with that.
Defund no.
Number two, we go to the hormonal and non-hormonal. Non-hormonal, we only have one.
Yeah, the nini one.
The copper IUD. The one.
Mtoto anatukanga kama ameshika hivi. Hey guys, I'm here.
But that copper IUD, make sure it is inserted by a specialist, a professional.
But see, they're all inserted by professionals.
Apparently not.
Sometimes not. Some hospitals you go and
you should come back.
Okay, you could be a professional, but you've not been practicing regularly. So you just get a patient siku moja and you're trying to practice on that patient.
Okay.
Now maybe you are not doing it right, or it's your first time inserting and you don't get it right. So sometimes also the professionals go wrong. But I think if it is inserted right, it works 100%.
Okay.
because I learned from over 25, they had a gyna come, and she said, first of all, it shouldn't be painful. Some people complained of like
Back
sijui
pain.
alafu sijui cramps imeongezeka intensity. Apparently that's not right. You should go and check if it looks okay. You should also go back for, is it an ultrasound?
Yeah.
It should be straight. Sometimes even
It should be
sex
straight,
might
yeah.
nini it.
They might move it if
might
he's
move it.
blessed.
So go check irudishwe in place. So apparently it works when
Done
well
the right
done.
way.
Yeah, it works.
But pia IUD side pia kuna hormonal na non-hormonal.
Hey, my
So it's
lord.
up to you to choose which one you want. And then when we come to hormonal, we have isoma implanon na jadel, the injectables. The ones that you put one rod and two rods here.
Jehovah, nimekata vizuri.
All these things depends with an individual.
yeah.
There are some people that it goes so well with their body, but there are some people who can't just take it, who can't have it. Either they will have extreme weight loss, extreme weight gain, like frequent spotting, those back pains and all that, headache, dizziness all the time.
Even mood swings.
Yeah,
I
even
had mood swings, guys. I think hata ndo ili contribute.
Honestly, so hiyo the injectables, hizo the hormonal ones, kuna hizo mbili ya 3 years na 5 years, and then there's this one for 3 months.
The injectable ones.
Yeah, the depo.
The depo. Nasikia depo is
You
being
just
phased
inject
out.
it IM, or this one now which has come, it's called it's depo something, not depo provera. There's another one now you inject subcutaneously.
Oh.
So that one, the difference with the previous one, it has a lower hormonal level. Estrogen yake iko chini kidogo.
Yeah, okay.
So the one for 3 months is good, but again for some people
They
get
inject ile ya
injected.
kitambo.
Hii ama hiyo.
Oh,
Some
okay,
people they
okay.
get injected, they get those spotting, dizziness, back pain. Some people
it
even
was
lose
my
their
holy
periods
grail.
the entire time.
Ya kudungwa sindano. It worked for you.
It was me, I was just fine. So when
Yeah,
people are
it
even
works.
complaining,
It
I
depends
didn't
with
know.
individuals. It
The other
works for some
time-
people, it doesn't work for some people at all.
I was with some doctor. I was in some okay, well, ilikuwa kitu. Tulikuwa tumekaa hivi.
Yeah.
Akasema that they're phasing out the
Depo.
the depo because the complaints are more.
Yeah. Another problem with depo, even after you stop getting the injection, for like over 6 months after stopping, you will still have those symptoms, even after you've stopped, But for most of these other ones, immediately you remove it or you stop using it, the
you just
side
lay
effects
back.
stop
Yeah.
automatically. But for depo, the side effects can still continue for 6 months.
I think
And then again, after using depo, if you want to conceive, if you stop because you want to conceive, for some people you might not be able to conceive immediately.
So you'll have
It might
to
take you
wait.
years,
Time.
may take you
Yeah.
time.
Yes, imagine.
But there are some people, they stop and
And they can be able
they can
to
conceive.
yeah.
So it's all
depends.
it depends with
Will
an
you-
individual.
Will you advise contraceptives for people who've never had kids? Ama they just use this
they just use that.
because of that hormonal imbalance? Because
I think just use condom,
Yeah.
number 1. But if you can't use condom at all, use combined oral contraceptives. These ones, the ones you take daily. But then again, you find hiyo ya daily, people are not consistent with it. Unataka kumeza leo asubuhi, kesho umeze
Unasahau,
usiku. It interferes with your entire cycle.
yeah,
And hiyo unajua kiachanga tu hivi, you can get pregnant
Ming baka ninge-
anytime.
shui.
Eh.
Kanasema hello, mama.
And
So that
apparently
one also
the
needs you
daily-
to be very disciplined. I wish I had carried one.
The nini ones.
Yeah.
The tablet.
The tablet ones. If you're breastfeeding, you can use progestin only because it doesn't suppress the breast milk.
Also, when you're breastfeeding, as long as you're doing 6
It's the
months,
right way.
6 months exclusive breastfeeding, it's a contraceptive as well. I usually tell my moms that I'm also a certified breastfeeding consultant.
Wow.
I
Amazing.
usually tell my moms that, but unaona wanaogopa wako
Yeah. Taking caution
Because
is
most
also-
of them win their babies early.
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
if you're doing
that's
it
6 months.
exclusively, that's also another way
Yeah.
of,
Contraceptive.
yeah. So details.
Sisi kama journalist.
Yeah.
And again, I think hizo side effects zinanishtua tu.
Yeah.
Mimi
Me, I would say
niko na
don't use
story.
it if you don't need to.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you don't need to just
Guys.
Use it.
Mimi after nimeenda kwenye watu wanaendanga kutoa nikaambiwa madam tuseme tu jina sindo
Nini
kwenye watu wanaendanga kutoa Mary Stops after ni visit Mary Stops our friends in this podcast
Nasema leo ni free promo. Leo ni free promo.
wakuje tafadhali huku mumesikia atukosangi kwa mention after nimeenda huko nikaambiwa madam sasa hebu chukua hii contraceptive nikadungwa sindano nikakatwa they numbed me wakaniweka implant let me tell you I will never
What happened?
go for that thing again. Hey, me was like a small baby girl. I was
You
so
became,
tiny. Guy, tumbo ikakuja. Mi sijaikuwa na tumbo kwa maisha yangu. Hormones zikakuwa imbalanced. Emotions, moods from here to Timbuktu. Oh my God.
When you're having mood swings, do you realize you're in a mood?
No, you
No.
most of the time you
don't.
Maybe after you are out of that phase.
Ndo
you
nikajua
realize.
alafu kwenda kutolewa. Can we talk about the process ya kutolewa hiyo kitu? Jehovah my father Lord.
We are sorry.
You know it's a pole na washtua lakini mtumie condoms tafadhali. Nilienda nikakatwa on my queue. After my marriage I kept them because I got into another relationship and I love sex. I wanted to have raw sex. But that nigga wasn't worth the contraceptives and the stress that I went through. Can we emphasize on that? Say amen.
Amen.
Just finish.
Yes.
Just finish.
Nikapitia hiyo mambo yote juu ya mwanaume mtumie condoms. Akisema haezi tumia condom aende ajikune kama itabidi amejikuna. We have non-latex condoms akina Skin and also Durex has one.
And
That's on period. Imagine nilienda nikakatwa. I will send you the photos if you want to post. I can post on my end and then I can tag you. I documented never to forget.
Me too.
Nilikatwa, they numb you, wakaikata zilikuwa 2. So they need to pull it out of your vein. Sindio?
It's in the vein. Si kwa skin.
No, it's
the skin. Okay. Lazima waipull. Wacha nikwambie ilikuwa inakataa kutoka. Nilikaa hapo for 1 hour hadi nikaambiwa, "Madam, kuna wengine wanakaanga hapa hata 3 hours." Sindio? Ikienda kutolewa. Hey. Tulishinda tumedunga sindano ya kunumb because the pain was too much and you can see they're trying to pull it. Anashika in a slide. Oh my God. I said never again. If I have to have sex, manze we are using this. Mimi sipiti hiyo shida tena kwa maisha yangu juu ya mwanaume. And then you go cheat on me. Because and after all the stress I'm going through, the hormonal imbalance, the pain, the mood swings, just so that you can enjoy those 5-6 minutes. Alafu unatoka hapa kwangu, you go cheat on me.
With somebody who doesn't have a
contraception. Are you mad?
But men cannot, like if they're not
out of here.
If they don't want to have children at all, they can do vasectomy.
Yeah. But men never want to hear it.
Unajua nikikuja on my way to this place, kwa gari. Hata leo sijalala kwa gari. Unajua mostly watu wathika road ukiingia supermetro ni usingizi paka destination. Exactly. So sikuwa nalala leo. Sasa nilikuwa nafikiria na tukitumia hizi contraceptives, juu mostly ladies ndio tunatumia. The pain hiyo yote. So maybe tuseme utapata maybe a girl in campus ameweka hata maybe first years. Hata kuna form 4 unaweza pata kwa nayo. Just because of the boyfriend.
Unasema form 4 hata watoto wanapewa contraceptives na wazazi wao.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So unapata mtu wako nayo just because of the boyfriend. the boyfriend who behaves venye anataka. Me honestly, mimi I'm saying this one unapologetically, but just usieke tu contraceptives ati juu ya boyfriend yako. Just jipende kidogo
Yeah,
jipende ingekuwa misijui.
Hey, umefeel inject.
I'm fueled by rage. Just don't.
Also there needs to, as you know, the way you were saying, we need that mentality shift. It's not just that telling people do this and that. We need people to believe collectively that we need to think like this. We need to reason like this. Sex ed should be in schools. In that very same breath, we need to shift our mentality to men taking responsibility. Like you see at your high school, okay, fine, it might not be a pedophile. Maybe it's actually 2 16-year-olds who are having sex. But then the boy can go on with his life. And we were even being told in Primo, tukua tunaambiwa, we shika mimba, huyo chali ataendelea enda university, utabaki ukilea. So boys also have to take up responsibility in the sense that they should get to a point where they know nikipatia mtu mimba, there's a possibility of going
to that point. Will they ever get to that point?
Pole. I feel like right now we have better situations than we did say 5 or 10 years ago. So I feel we'll get there. It might not come easy, it might take time, but we must get to a point where men take responsibility. Nikipeana mimba, there's a possibility of me kwenda jela jumini deadbeat. There's a possibility of me nikipelekwa sijui inaitwa children's court, naweza shinda huko nilipe millions, all my salary going to this woman because if there's consequences for what you're doing, men will take nini very fast. And you've had the joke going around where people are saying if it was men getting pregnant, there'd have been a contraceptive that works, that has no pain, has no side effects, has no anything.
100%.
Whenever men need to take responsibility, a solution will be found. Trust.
And there are these cases where a lady would come and tell you that, my man is responsible after unprotected sex. Naja withdraw, of course. Yende anaenda kwa duka na kubaia pitu every time. The one who buys you
responsible for your barrenness.
Thank you. You kwenda kubaiwa pitu is not the deal.
So hapo ndo continue.
Oh, sorry. Unajua, okay, the lady maybe anawezaona anatake anashughulika hata ananiendea. Hakuna kuendewa, unaendewa in infertility ama unaendewa nini? Unaendewa hiyo barrenness. Ati ananiendea.
What standards are these? Umeendewa kitu ya 200 bob umekuja kuambia watu.
It is getting hot. She's getting lit for more.
Man will use this thing.
If he loves you, like vizuri tu chau.
Hata si mapenzi, responsible.
It doesn't have to love you.
Just have to be
responsible. That love comes with the care. At least ana consider. Mostly wanajiconsider.
Me, I'm thinking it's not even about him being responsible for you or liking you. Even him himself, ajiheshimu. If you
a responsible man,
if you had a man who respects himself, he knows I am not ready to have a child. A man, I've said this story here. Me, when my ex cheated, I wasn't mad at him for cheating. I was mad at him for kwani haujiheshimu enough to even take care of yourself to not get a disease.
Imagine.
Yani we mwenyewe ukufikiria I could contract something. That's not someone I want to be around. Quality of human being.
Yeah.
Mtu ataki mtoto, mtu ataki ugonjwa for themselves. It doesn't even have to be about you. Have sex with quality men. That's all I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And then the other ones will have to
but you have to jipenda kwanza. No, you notice quality men.
Yes. Yes, true.
Jipende tu for a minute.
So tungoje demonstration. Na watu wa Spotify.
Watu wa Spotify. Shauri wataenda YouTube. Hivi inafunguliwa hivyo venye mumeona nafungua. Mwanaume responsible atatumia hii kitu.
That's true.
Hata sema that haitoshei nini, because a man who's not responsible just wants to think of their own pleasure. Okay? A man who says that they don't want to use condoms, ana withdrawal yake iko poa, anaogopa tu mimba, haogopi diseases. You can easily get herpes from a man because the symptoms with men hazipo. You can easily get gonorrhea, syphilis, na za vitu zinginezo. Utapata HIV yenye utatest after 3 months ndo ujue kama uko nayo.
Tuseme na Kiswahili ndo ikae.
Unaweka.
Kisonono.
Ona venye inatoshea kwa mkono. Hata nimeikata but inatoshea. Ni mimi nimeidunga na nini?
Kucha.
Na kucha. Inatoshea. Ni mimi nimeidunga na kucha. Inatoshea guys. Inatoshea.
Don't buy any excuses.
Asikuje kukwambia ati haiwezi toshea.
And there's actually companies that make bigger sizes because Ugandans complained at some point.
Ugandans are blessed.
Well,
May tie out.
I wouldn't know.
You have no idea.
And they were given 7. Wangepewa kitu ingine ya kucompensate.
And then ukisema ati you can't use ati you're allergic to latex, go use non-latex condoms. We have them. And again, hii kitu yenye unaogopa kuspend 1,000 because they cost 1,000 bob plus 500 featherlight kuendelea. Hauogopi Pampers?
Diapers.
Yeah, diapers za 3,000.
Na ununui once.
Natumii moja the whole day. Natumii moja the whole day.
So mtumie condoms tafadhali wadau.
Yeah,
if a man tells you he can't use condoms, remove that man from your life. He only cares about himself. Don't go.
He doesn't even care about himself because why doesn't he think that I could contract something from this girl?
Hey, ebu
How much do you
kwanza.
trust me? Just because auto napima hizi vitu na macho. Na kuona wewe au kai kama uko nayo.
Kwanza nilikuwa naambia these ladies the story I've seen on YouTube. I was watching at night of this guy who went and had unprotected sex with the wife's best friend. And then walikuwa nafanyiwa royalty test. The wife akasikia wakaona kwa messages amelala na huyu rafiki yake. After the loyalty test, she went and tested for HIV
Because she knew her
best friend was positive. Akaenda akatest akapata she's positive. And then when that guy when now they were doing the aftermath ile mnakiti nyinyi wote pamoja, and the friend is there, and then she tells them, mumeniharibia maisha yangu nyinyi, kwanza we mwanaume sikuwa nimekuambia. This girl is positive. Na mimi umenisambazia. Do you know what the guy did? Mimi ningejuaje? Si fault yangu mimi ningejuaje?
That's what they say.
How yeye akilala na mtu raw, hakuwa anajua of the possibility. You go just have sex with a stranger. Even if, let me tell you, mimi what I do. Mwende msikize ile episode ingine ya sex yenye Olive alifanya last week. Me what I do. We will have a self kit. We will test. And that doesn't guarantee that we are going to have raw sex. We will still use condoms. Because they can't fathom the idea of contracting these things. Because yes, we need to test for HIV. And two, there are other possibilities. We haven't tested all these STIs.
Yeah.
There is a very high possibility of getting that. No yu mtu mwenye unalala na yeye, how sure they are not that they are not sleeping with other people? If at all in marriages watu letewa HIV. What about out here where you're not committed to someone? Ati anamka asubuhi.
There needs to be a mentality like people vitu kama cheating should be very shamed to the point where people will feel like cheating is not.
Cheating nowadays is
You can't cheat.
Normal. So,
because I'm feeling like, you know, in the even it plays into the next point here. You know how someone who got, like, say, an infection in a marriage union, it's so unfair to that person.
It
is so unfair to that person. This is the one unit that guarantees you security in all the senses. Whether it's your mental, whether it's your sex life, this is the one place that you are sure. Tuseme basi sisi hatujaolewa, we are fornicating. Yesu akikuja sahi hakuna mbinguni tunaingia. But you are in the right unit where this sex should not be had with all sacred. These problems. Yeah. So I feel like it is so unfair for you to contract something when you are being, first of all, you are in the marriage unit, and then you are doing your part being a faithful
you are
partner.
Loyal. Exactly.
It's so bad.
And that is
should
what
be a
pains
police
me.
case at this point.
It
True.
is.
It should
It
be.
pained me so much for that woman because She even told the guy.
But
Honesty.
even the best friend should be arrested. See, it's illegal to...
The guy, the
when
lady,
you know
knowingly.
yeah,
You're
she
spreading
knew what
it
she was doing. She knew it. She knew she was having.
This best friend.
Yes, wametoka na yeye mbali kutoka utotoni. Nitakutumia link.
We'll do another episode in season 5 for friendship.
Yeah.
Also, just because umetoana mbali na mtu. Also,
It doesn't guarantee.
Also, if you have friends that you've been friends since primary school,
it doesn't guarantee.
just review that relationship, because haven't you two grown into different humans? That is very suspect.
I think it's because people are not able to pick some things. Because what that lady was saying is that I was envying your life.
Yeah, that's true.
She did. And the friend is like, but you're always in my house. You're my family. We've always been together.
I think that's the point where you think somebody is your friend, but there's that secret animosity. Me, I find that very insane. Like, what do you mean?
But you have to be very smart as a person
everyone
to
has
figure it
to.
out.
You have to look out for yourself. Not everyone who you think wants you to win actually wants you to win.
Akaambiwa ufutwe kwa hii dunia atakufuta mbaya sana. People out here are trash.
The fact that I could hold your secret so much that I wouldn't even tell
my husband,
my very own husband, that you're HIV positive.
Who went and slept with now that.
And you are feeling like that for me. And me, I'm putting all my strength in protecting you. By the way, tupatane Sayun. Next, the next person said, we speak about contraception from a point of privilege, most of us.
What? How kivipi?
I think it's in the sense that sometimes even a lot of the conversations we have on this podcast, I'm usually like, okay, yes, we've had this conversation. But what about someone in Kibera who doesn't even have 200 shillings? Someone who doesn't even listen to podcasts. Someone who doesn't, like, information is not, like, we're talking about parents teaching your kids about sex. Kuna mtu hata yo parent ajui ni ameenda kuhustle alishe sisters wake. So there's
we have this tunahonga wamefanya
community
social community
something. They're called community who?
Social community.
Me feel actually people in those slums,
they know
Kibera, they are more privileged than someone in Karen or Lavington.
Yeah, they know these
first
things.
of all, those services are free in public hospitals.
They are. Wanaitwa
community health workers.
How wamejaa.
Kuna inaitwaje? The services are free, and there are so many non-governmental organizations looking around, teaching young girls how to take care of themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that.
So they should just take advantage of those, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I would imagine of someone in Ushago.
Oh yeah, there's
Ushago mostly. I think pia wanakuanga they try.
Many miles away.
Ushago hakuna, because me I can even think of my shags right now, and I can't tell you if I've ever even seen, what are these called? These mobile clinics or whatever.
But in the clinic wanakuanga wamekwekea zile poster in your language.
But kabla mtu wa Ushago amke
tu aende clinic hosi, they actually
already hayuko informed.
Yani ukigonje, okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah, like the education from the beginning to apple home, vile way you are not talking to your daughter.
Ndo ajue ikifika hapa naweza enda hivi.
Hiyo information hakuna hata hapo, tuanzie hapo.
We should introduce sex ed in schools.
And also in most schools, I think they are usually taught about contraceptives.
Most schools, kwanzia lini?
Even primary nowadays.
Nowadays
class 4.
Nowadays they're taught.
Yeah, from grade 8
I
from grade 4.
In this new system.
Yeah, they are
CBC.
That's better.
I didn't know that.
I was hoping Akina Kaz expand their, I don't know whether it's an organization or whatever they're doing. There's a time Kaz was doing sex ed in schools.
She's still doing it, I think.
She is. But I felt like I wanted her to be the one to train people to do sex ed in schools, because hers is very...
I know.
I don't know, there's a way she does it. It's very fun. It's very shameless. It's very... She goes down to the details. It's very individualistic when she's talking to these girls and these boys. And I just felt like... Maybe we might say there's sex ed in school, but then again, it's the normal. Use a condom, contraceptives we have number 1
I
hormonal,
think, yeah.
number 2 so you don't have actual interaction with these things to understand what it would look like in real life.
I think so too.
I also just thought of something when you said the people who do anal sex. Think as a medic and from
It's
the little experience that I've had.
It's a no.
It's a no.
Yeah, I've had that as
You
well.
will suffer from the fistula alone.
Yeah, I've had.
Even well lubricated.
Yeah.
I have had.
You'll get the rectal fistula alone. You will funga that diaper alone.
I have had.
Because first you see anus inakuwaga na
Ebu
muscles mingi.
waambie wasikie.
And how do gays survive then?
So you see anus kuna hizo sphincter muscle mingi. There are so many muscles.
Hizo
The
si?
anus.
Sphincter
Hizo zenye zimezunguka hivi.
Hizo zinakaa rugai. So the more you penetrate, they loosen.
Are you
And they don't
serious?
snap
They
back like
loosen.
vaginas.
No.
Hey!
Take notes.
Vaginal muscles
Ukuje kwa podcast yangu
Contract.
tuongelee maneno.
and relax.
Yeah.
But the sphincter muscle, once they are loose, they are
They're
loose.
loose.
So first of all, those hemorrhoids, you'll get them alone. You'll suffer alone. Hizo ma fistulas, rectal fistula. Kwanza for ladies, it is
Tell
even
them
worse.
what a fistula is. I'm sure there are people who don't know.
A fistula is like a hollow opening that allow a passage of anything to flow in. So hapo inabaki tu ikiwa shimo tu.
Okay.
So huwezi control kwenda long call, short call. For ladies it is even worse because unapata most of the time rectal fistula, the fistula inaenda from the rectum, it joins the vagina. So you have a hollow opening all the way from your rectum to your vagina. So there's nothing you can control. And treating fistula, by the way, is not easy. It's a process. For I would say for anyone who has those signs of fistula, they can't control long call, short call. They can't control anything that comes from down there. They should visit. There's a good gynecologist in Eldoret who just does fistula reconstruction.
Lazima ikuwe Eldoret because LGBT kwa.
He does it cheaper. He's called Dr. Mabea, Gyno Clinic.
Let me ask you. Sorry.
Before you go for pleasure, ati nataka kumfurahisha, think about fistula. Are you ready?
Before you go
Are
for
you
pleasure,
ready?
by they think of all
Are
the
you-
consequences. Because
Ati we
fistula
want-
is a serious thing.
Ati we want to try. Are you ready?
How do women or
Diaper.
men who have tried this and they continue to do this, because I know of women who just do anal sex, how do they survive? Like, are they okay? Ama wanateseka?
You might not face the consequences now when you are enjoying, but wait until 10 years later.
What do you
it
mean?
might come later.
Until later on. Oh my Jesus.
You might not actually experience the effects now.
Well,
Na hizi butt plugs. Sorry, tumeturn podcast yako from contraceptives to back to sex. Na butt plugs?
I don't know, but just same thing.
But butt plugs are
Loosening
small.
of the
chochote kinachoingia kwa makalia wachana nacho.
By the way, anything going to sim too.
Leave it
Achana
alone.
nayo.
But now let me ask a very hey, nitauliza swali. Warning guys, warning. It's about to get disgusting. No, when people are going for a long call, sometimes it's really big. How does it fit there? Like your nini doesn't, because that's the logic that people use when
Mostly
they're
when you're
doing
having constipation.
constipation. Yes. See it. Why then? That's
Okay,
the
of course
logic
it
that
will
people use on when
That's
they're
the
doing
logic that you use.
That's the people.
But remember,
the logic people use.
that long call is so different from a human skin.
That's true.
It's so different.
Msilinganishe
Now you
shit
want
na-
to-
Hata
Are you
kama you're
constipated
constipated, it
every
is
day?
just so different. And you're not constipated every day.
For the
And
next 10 years.
alafu long call kwa utaenda for how long?
Watu
Your anal sex utafanya for how long?
mumesikia ngono ya matako.
Wachana.
It is bad. It is
Wachana.
bad.
There's a tweet I saw in regards to that, and the doctor was like, as much as people out here are glorifying anal sex,
People glorify anal sex.
oh yeah, there are people who love it. Even you just can't say that
But they're not okay here.
No, they're still okay.
fine.
No,
They're
it's
just-
because the ass has.
It's preference.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
pleasure
anyway, preference.
in the ass, especially for men. So that's why they prefer that.
But that's
so,
gay. Not just any man, that's a gay.
No, it's not. It
No,
could be
you
any
can
man.
even have a straight guy who likes to enjoy that with his woman. That doesn't mean he's gay.
Do you know why they go for? They are saying they glorify the whatever.
Anal sex, yeah, the ass.
It's because now they've explored all the places and easy to muscles zinawadanganya bado hapo iko tight vizuri. It can hold him well.
No, I'm
But
saying
ideally,
for men, like men who enjoy.
There are people who
anal.
enjoy and are the recipients.
Yes.
Oh,
So
yes.
they're not the ones.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, because
Even
there's a lot of pleasure. Because I'm learning something called prostate milking, and it's encouraged in the health world. Niliambiwa nisidescribe hapa, lakini it's a good release for men. Yeah. So what was I even saying? Nimesahau my
There are
thought
people who
process.
enjoy anal.
Yeah, there are people who enjoy that. So there was this guy on Twitter who was saying, as much as people are glorifying anal, people don't know the number of fistula complications that he has to deal with on a weekly basis.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, by the
People
anal
share
sex wachana
knowledge,
tu.
share
Yeah,
knowledge.
please do. People need
people
that.
don't.
Anal sex.
Moment of silence ndo wasikie buku.
hiyo iko na effect yake like even if it is not now you'll still get, like hiyo iko na effect yake, si ya kubahatisha. Si ya hakuna kubahatisha hapo. Si kama kufanya vaginal sex unabahatisha kupata mimba, you see.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's deep knowledge, guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
That's deep knowledge.
Still like serious.
Now that you've explained it like that.
Let me read the next couple. Maybe we've covered a couple of here. I know that there is not enough research, and a woman is allowed to choose. There's not enough research, and I guess a woman should be able to choose. I guess that's on the topic of abortion mostly.
Yeah.
Pro-choice,
Pro-life.
pro-life. Hey, tuko mbali as Africa. Conversations again on get to America. Someone here said, a lesbian here, I am curious. What if we decide to get pregnant and the relationship doesn't work out? Who gets the child? The carrier. But what if the egg was by the other partner? What if they were still carrying? What if abortion was a whisper? Who decides? As a lesbian, this is my contraceptive. Of course, being a lesbian, hautashika mimba.
Kenya hatuna hizo law za kusema hivyo, lakini mwenye amebeba mtoto ndiye atakuwa mama in this situation huku Kenya.
And if I wanted a child, but it's my partner who's carrying, but them they're now planning to abort because...
Do we have that in Kenya, really? I don't think
We are not there
I
yet.
don't think we are there
We are
yet.
not there.
by law, we still are not there, but
In
these
other-
are real life situations.
I think Maju, they have laws for that
Yeah.
because LGBTQ is legal. Let's start there. So here hatujafika hapo, and here the carrier, and in matters of surrogacy, it's the person's egg who's the mother. But in terms, because we have surrogacy in Kenya, if it's that, then it's the egg owner is the mother. Lakini hapa kwa hii yao ni ngumu kidogo unless ikwe treated as surrogacy.
Or they just co-parent.
Or they just get her, or they just...
Yeah, they can co-parent. That's what
Yeah.
I was thinking.
And in terms of abortion, hatujafika
Who makes
hapo.
the decision?
Twendeni
Me, I feel
pole.
like you're saying?
And again, if you're not sure with your partner, msifike hapo kwanza.
Msifike mahali.
Mtapima.
Yeah. I was thinking for the abortion, I'd apply the same context as women and men. I would let the woman choose because it's her carrying that thing.
Yeah.
So in the same sense, if you're in a lesbian relationship, the one carrying it should have the decision whether to abort or not.
But why spend so much money with surrogacy? Because you have to go implant and
It's not a surrogacy, they are in a relationship.
But she said it's her egg. Me, I'm looking at it from a surrogacy point, where it's her egg, that's her fertilized egg, IVF, yenye inaekwa kwa, it's being planted in someone else's womb.
See, maybe it was just a relationship. The way you decide, let's divide.
Hey.
Me, I'll provide the egg you can carry.
My lord.
Maybe the
just
one who
co-parent.
provided the egg is a stud. I don't know.
We
It's mask presenting.
hatujafika hapo kama Kenya.
But I don't know. Me, I would say for abortion, let the one who's carrying decide. But for who keeps the child or not,
That's a legal
it's
thing.
a parenting thing. And also, vile Viveca amesema, msifike hapo.
If
If your relationship is also, like, make sure, guys, you've gone to couple counseling,
Therapies.
you've gone to, make sure by the time you guys are planning to have, I guess the lesbian version of having children is as good as the hetero version of marriage. When you get there, make sure you are in for the long run.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're already in this situation, if you're contemplating abortion, let the one who's carrying decide. If it's the other one, I guess co-parenting. Yeah. I guess. Muonge tu. If both of you really wanted a child, go ahead and co-parent. It has happened before.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, or adopt. That's a
Wait.
complicated one.
Wait, nimegundua. Kama ni abortion, bado ni mtoto wake. The egg is hers.
Ndo maana nikuwa nasema
That's nimegundua. Wewe.
like it's very
Co-parenting is in that case.
it's very
Like, it's
complicated.
an option.
We haven't gotten there as Kenya. I believe once we legalize LGBT queer relationships,
But you know why I
that's
don't want to lean on the point for we haven't gotten there in Kenya. That invalidates the experiences that they're having right now as human beings. So we can't keep telling them we've not gotten there in Kenya. What does she do now
Right now.
in that situation? Yes, we've not gotten there, but now she's a lesbian. They're not even allowed to exist in this country. It's already difficult enough.
the way I've seen many lesbian couples going about it. One of them, mtoto ni wake. Like there's no surrogacy bit of it. Mtoto ni wake. And then they just raise that child as their own. So you get that child that becomes your child in the form of as a guardian. That's your child as a guardian.
Yeah.
That's how those are the situations I have seen out here.
I guess imebaki co-parenting. Okay, I hope you two manage to talk it out and find
Figure
healthy
it
ways
out.
of
Hiyo ni
co-parenting.
huku Kenya.
Ni Kenya,
It's a hard one.
Personally, I support them. The government should just make abortion legal. It's already there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If it's made, I usually feel like when something is made accessible, it's used less.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Watu wakishajua iko hapo unaweza ipata, hakuna mtu ushughulika nayo.
Hakuna.
But the things that are so much forbidden fruits,
Chini ya maji.
yeah.
They taste sweet.
Hiyo ndo inabamba. Let me read now the longer mails. We had two
Oh man,
mail.
no man has contributed to this.
They-
No, I told you I don't know if men fear my podcast.
Hey guys,
I don't know.
Because they have nothing to say.
They have.
about
I was
contraceptives.
to ask.
They usually
Rebecca,
have a
is,
lot.
what is it called? These long terms. They're considered contraceptives. Hysterectomy and tubal ligation and vasectomies. Okay.
Yeah, they're considered contraception. Your group inaitwanga sterilization methods. So there is where we have for male, we have vasectomy. For women, we have tubal ligation, hysterectomy. And then there is also laparotomy. Because again, with laparotomy, you remove basically most of the reproductive organs for the female.
You remove most, and then
You can remove the ovaries
Oh,
part of the uterus.
okay.
Is it an invasive surgery?
It is.
Mm.
And then hysterectomy, most of the time you find that maybe someone has fibroids and it has damaged most part of the uterus.
Yeah.
So in the long run, or maybe uterine cancer
Yeah.
or a cyst that has massively grown.
Ah.
So the only option is to remove the entire uterus.
Entire uterus.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then tubal ligation now, it's a choice. Maybe you've had 4 kids and you're like, I just need this 4. I don't want to
That's
add
enough,
a 5th
yeah.
one. So maybe after getting the 4th one, during your CS, wanatoa.
Oh,
Ovaries,
wakufungia kabisa
yeah.
kabisa.
There's a question
But then they
had.
just like it, honestly. They just shona around so that
We had a question we were wondering with Olive. When you do those processes, do you still have your periods?
for tubal ligation, you have your periods.
So it doesn't mess up with your hormones?
No.
Okay.
No. For what is it called? For hysterectomy, unfortunately,
Hiyo ya
no.
kutoa kila kitu. Okay. Does it mess up with
Because
your
now,
hormones?
so it messes up obviously. Because now, so you see, during your periods, there's this point where your endometrium is supposed to shed off some
Yes.
tissues. So imagine if you don't have that entire uterus, what will your what will be shed off? Alafu pia, I mean, just basically hysterectomy, because that is the one that is common. You will not receive your periods for
You get into menopause.
automatically.
Oh, okay. And
And then again, menopause is another huge topic. Menopause nowadays also sets in so early.
Ali, yeah.
Usiseme
Ali
20s
is what
tena.
age?
Usiseme 20s
Some people
tena.
even 30s.
Hey, my lord.
Yes.
Inject.
Nikikwambia mnasema
For some
najidanganyisha.
people even 30s, imagine. Things have changed.
I want one more child.
Like they're saying our diet has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are
Even
getting worse.
the chemicals that we are using.
Yeah.
They also affect us in one way or the other.
Okay.
Vasectomy, is it reversible?
It's not.
Oh, it's not.
It's not reversible.
For the guys, it's not.
It's not.
Ni nini basi they usually tell us ya sijui.
No. Vasectomy is not reversible.
Tungesema tu ni reversible.
Kiamua
Baba
kukatoa.
wasipate.
Oh, guy, pole. Tumeharibu, tumechoma.
But most men have, like a few men I've had who've done vasectomy. Maybe you get that they've had kids na wako kwa ile age ya, they have
Wametosheka.
nothing to lose and they don't want to have more kids, and so they just decide like
Yeah. I feel like vasectomy is such a I don't know what reality TV I was watching. It's such a gesture of love, especially for men who are like me and my wife are done, and you don't have to do the hormones.
Contraceptives. I know.
It's such
Oh my
it's such a
god.
gesture of really
It is.
sweet kindness and love.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But yeah, in the states they even do, what is it called? Tubal ligation and vasectomy day.
Together.
Like
It's
Oh.
so beautiful.
Oh, like I got you. My
You don't have to go
baby.
through it.
Locate
Dabo
me,
dabo,
please.
mnajua sa huku sijui nini kifanyika. Hakuna venye. There's no possibility of a child.
Maybe I think I'll have one more child and then I'll get a tubal ligation.
It is okay
want one more.
as you choose. Na ikikuja, if menopause comes before, you are the one who was here advocating for adoption. Thank you.
Yes.
She has another one.
Hi.
Another option.
Someone said contraception. If you've not had children yet, use non-hormonal methods, please. And I say this from being a medical practitioner. P2 is an emergency medication. Ideally, it should only be used twice in a year. That's if possible, completely strive to never use hormonal contraception. Why? Let's read extensively on immediate and long-term side effects. On abortion, in a world where information is on our fingertips, I'll advocate for abortion only in a situation where you've been raped. And even then, immediately you know you've been raped, go to the hospital. Pregnancy prevention is one of the management, whatever's they do. A pregnancy is not a surprise. I don't understand why the only outcome in your head should be orgasm and not, I could get orgasms and STI, pregnancy or such. You had unprotected sex. You didn't use contraception. You got pregnant. You are shocked. Honey, why? You expected an orange or a TV. My 2 cents though. ...
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
She has nailed it.
Everything in one paragraph.
I have an issue with you guys medics saying that abortion, I understand abortion should be the last option.
Resort, yeah.
But her saying that only get an abortion when you're raped, I feel like this. If you've used all the contraceptives, if you have used all the preventative methods, you've gotten pregnant, you have the money to go to a practitioner at Mary Stocks. And
But my question is, why are you choosing abortion? That
should
is the
not
biggest
only be
question.
limited to rape.
because you're not ready for a child.
But we also should consider that even medics are humans with their own beliefs.
I understand.
So even them it's the same way when you go to a certain therapist. That's why some people are told if you're not of the faith, don't find someone who's within
the reason
faith.
why
They have their own.
I would understand the reason why most medics we are a bit against abortion. It's because we have seen the effects.
You've seen what
we have seen the later effects. Of
Is it the effects of the effects? Are the effects of properly done abortions? Because abortions are done even in terms of miscarriage, right? Or is it an abortion that has gone wrong from a rogue practitioner, from a quack?
Wow.
I have to ask that question because
It's a challenge.
yeah, because they're done. If I get a miscarriage right now and I go to hospital, it is considered a medical abortion, if I'm not wrong, right? It is done. So for a medic to come and say, only do abortion because of rape, only do because of what comes later on, is it what you have seen in terms of quacks?
You see, the
The
question
outcome?
is, we've seen the age bracket of people who are having abortion.
Okay.
There she said 2024. You're number one. Number two, most of these abortions, to assume everyone is going to Mary Stopes.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're just calling your medic friend, hey, ni kama nimemes pahali, utanisaidiaje? I prescribe for you the drug blindly.
I understand
Kwambia
from
tumia
that
hivi,
point.
tumia hivi. And then you face the effects later. So,
Effects later as in?
like one story where I work, I won't say where.
Okay, yeah.
There's a girl who came and she was like 20, 21. So amekuja jioni na auntie yake and her stomach is crumbling and she's crying. She's having those severe abdominal pains.
Zilibaki ndani.
She's having those severe abdominal pains. So you see, for me, initially, I had charged her like innocently. I didn't know it was an abortion. She just said she's having some epigastric pain and she didn't say it's on the lower abdomen. Charge her, take her to the doctor with her file. Then later on, when she wakes up from one of the seats, naona damu imejaa kwa kiti. I'm like, wait, this is abortion. And then I informed the doctor who I was working with that it seems here tuko na.
And does it seem like the auntie might have known?
Yeah.
She didn't know.
The aunt didn't know.
No, she didn't know. And she's actually also a nurse, but she didn't know. Because she misreported the whole symptoms. So she wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So
I get now.
I feel like if we shed shame around it.
then there was some smell that was coming. Then I said, this seems like septic.
God. Hey, that was septic.
So later on, tukimrudisha kwa daktari, tukamuuliza, kama alikuwa na mimba kama amejaribu kutoa, we will ask you direct questions because we're already seeing it. And she said, mimi no, hapana. She's in denial. She's scared. The aunt is there. She doesn't know the consequences.
Hauje kama utaitiwa polisi ukiwa hospitali pia.
So we didn't have the right equipment for
attending to
removing the retained products of conception. So we referred her to one of the hospitals, that is Kenyatta, and there I think no there I think they did the removal of those products of conception. After doing the removal, she went home after like a day, and then 3 days later she was taken back to Mbagathi.
What happened?
Guess what happened to Mbagathi? What? She had perforated uterus.
The hell?
Imefura. Pass. Juu ya infection.
Coming out, infection, yeah.
They didn't treat her with antibiotics when
they
they
gave
were
her antibiotics, but it was late when she was coming to us.
How long had it taken? Hey, okay.
She wasn't even saying the time period. So they took her back to Mbagathi, and already at Mbagathi she had a perforated uterus, and she had to go to theater. And guess what they did?
They removed the uterus.
Yes. At how many years?
21.
Yeah. So tell me, if she had chosen, even if she's not ready to be a mom, if she had chosen to just have this baby, and you can give this baby to someone who is.
That's why I was saying one case is very layered. Because if you're looking at that one case, we're looking at sex ed.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
We're looking at abortion. We're looking at medical care for people in complete abortion or whatever. And then we're looking at other things like, what is it called? We're looking at other things like the adoption process. When you're telling her, just have the baby and put it out for adoption.
Take time.
That process itself in Kenya is not even streamlined. So if you look at one KCV, there's so many systemic issues that need to be fixed.
There's a root. It's a process.
Kuna vitu mingi we need to fix. We need to fix this system, that when we have one situation, mtu aseme, okay, I don't want to have the child. And actually people forget that at proper abortion, whatever process, there's counseling in the beginning, where people can't even change their minds and decide, okay, sawa,
let me go.
Maybe I was panicking. Sawa, I'll keep the child.
But there's panicking, honestly.
There's a whole process. So we need to streamline,
especially when you're a student, but you're not even financially stable. Obviously, there is panicking.
There's panicking.
Like, am I ready to do this?
Umeongelele hiyo story nikakumbuka my story. So I'll just share it. If you come to my DM to bash me, shauri yako. Me, I'm pro-abortion, pro-choice.
You moved from pro-choice to pro-abortion.
Yes. First of all, I'll start by saying this, and it comes from a very personal point. When I come here and talk, I talk from a very personal point. I wasn't talked to about sex growing up. I had sex when I was 16. I remember the first time I was so scared that I'd gotten pregnant. And I believe that guy gave me a yeast infection. I'm not proud of it. It's not something that I would advocate. But if I had had that sex talk, it would have prevented me from that point. And because I didn't, tumelelewa tukiambiwa sex is very shameful. As she said, there are layers. One, there is no sex education. Sex is shamed. Unaambiwa sex is bad.
Contraceptives are shamed.
Hata ujaambiwa kuhusu contraceptives at that point. Wewe unajua tu ukipata mimba, if when you have sex, you'll get pregnant. Mimi, when I had sex with that guy, I feared pregnancy more than anything else. In my mind, I'm not thinking of STIs. I don't even know the symptoms of these STIs. I don't even know how a yeast infection is. I came to realize what a yeast infection is later on in my 30s. Because uko kitambo, ulikuwa nafikiria yeast infection ni STI. Up to now, my baby daddy atasema huyo dem alinipatia STI, lakini ilikuwa yeast infection. And I came to realize later, because of the drugs and the symptoms that I had. I just see vitu tunaambiwanga tukiwa shule when you're growing up
At home.
Baby. So after high school I was like nini tunaambiwangwa ni mbaya. So I went out and had sex because I wanted to know I'm a rebellious passion. How bad is this thing that tunaambiwa sex is bad? And then utapatana na jamaa kuambie siwezi tumia condom. Kazi inaenda kwa P2. Hatujui P2 unafaa kutumia twice and that they have effects. I have come to learn that later in life. As Olive said, tulikuwa tunakunywa P2 kama biscuit na sweetie. Kama Panadol.
Hope and pills.
There is a statistic that was going around that P2's chemists make a lot of money on Monday mornings.
From the weekend.
Yes, from the weekend.
Me, I remember even
So,
on the working day of our graduation after every bin in school had
P2.
Nini postna.
The
were
green
sold
one.
out. They were sold out.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous.
So that's what I knew. And now later on, ukipata mimba unaambiwa 2K. Unapelekwa kwa na sizi chemist za kawaida, unapeleka kwa mahali Kayole. It's very dingy. Unaorganiziwa, unaenda unatoa. My first one was successful. I went back, started using condoms. Actually, the first one aliniambia niko na mimba. I didn't know. My sister, who's a nurse, took care of me that time. I'm very grateful for her. I did not know the effects of abortion. The second one, I got pregnant. I didn't want to remove it because of the other experience. I was like, this is traumatic for me because it's about to get graphic, guys. Abortion, when you abort, for those who have aborted, inatoka in chunks. So it's very
Disgusting.
It's disgusting. And you have sometimes to sit in the loo because utatumia pads it's bad. It's bad, guys. So the second time I wanted to keep it and he was like, no, twende tutoe. Nikamwambia mimi sitaki kutoa hii mimba. Twende tutoe.
The quality of men.
Tukaenda kutoa. Mimi nafikiria we are going somewhere to get pills as before. We get to some place in Paypay. We enter. First of all, the curtains are very disgusting. I don't have money for Mary Stops. The curtains are really dirty. Nika dingy place, lakini nika clinic ka kumwa na tumbo ka malaria hapa. Tukaingia, tukwa tumepelekwa na msee fulani and I thought that tunapewa pills. Kidogo naambiwa lala kwa kitanda. I experienced the worst pain of my life. Do not abort for a man. Abort for yourself.
That's also another thing.
It was bad. They used something to pull. And oh my God, I went back home. I started puking. I puked. The following day, I went to hospital. I had a card, insurance card. I went to Hosi. And I'm telling, again, I wasn't honest with my symptoms because you're scared that
most people are never honest.
But you don't know that the medics are not supposed to share your information with authorities.
Knowledge, that's another
because ningesema tu nimehave abortion. Nikadanganya triage, naumwa na kichwa, nini, sisikii poa, ka fever, because nilikuwa na fever. Hiyo ni infection ina set in. Nikaenda kwa daktari, a very nice lady. And I just told her, I've had an abortion. And she told me, just sit there, I'm coming. I don't know, alienda akaita nani, wakakuja wakaniongelesha, nikapimwa, nikafanyiwa
Palpation.
kucheck whether there are things, nikaambiwa there are things zenye zimebaki. I want you to note that when you go to these dingy places, they don't remove everything. She told me, you're gonna be septic. You need to be admitted.
We tell them what being septic means.
Septic means having an infection,
Bacterial
infection that can kill you. Right?
Yeah. And sepsis spreads so fast.
It's really bad. So I was admitted. I met a really nice guy, and they took me to theater to clean me. Uzuri, I went early enough. If I had taken longer, I would have ended up like that lady. And that gyna was like, the next time you need an abortion, call me. And I vowed, Mimi, the next time I will never have an abortion again. I vowed. So when I got my baby, he wanted me to remove my baby. I told him, no. Mimi sitoi mtoto. If I have to raise this child alone, I will raise this child alone. But that experience taught me a lot. In that, the next time I had an abortion, because I went back to have an abortion, that's why I'm saying I'm pro-choice. I went back to have an abortion at a legit place. I had the money. If I did not have the money, I would have kept that child. I only did it as a last resort. And I went to the right place. And right now, I am so scared about getting pregnant when I'm not ready, because Mimi, abortion is the last resort. So I understand what you're saying as abortion as the last resort. Mimi, right now I don't want to use contraceptives. And because I don't want to use contraceptives, Mimi, I will use condoms. Mimi, I carry condoms. I will have condoms with me because I don't want to go back to that situation that I was in. And it goes back to being taught as a child about these things. If I was younger in my 16 and I was told about sex, si mimba peke yake unaogopa. Kama ningeambiwa hivi ndo contraceptives ziko, niambiwe hivi ndivo abortion iko, because people don't think of abortion like that. People think abortion ni kwenda tu kutoa mtoto and that's it. They don't think of the repercussions. So they will have raw sex. They will not use the precautions. Na wanafikiri nikipata tu mimba naenda tu kutoa. Let it be the last resort, as you said. Now I understand from that point.
That again reminds me of a 16-year-old from one of the big maternity hospitals in Nairobi that I rotated in around January, February there. So this 16-year-old, she came innocently. Like ni mtu nikaa alimpatia tu nguo za mtoto zimebaki. Of course she came in labor. But she didn't even appear she's in labor. Like life has hardened her. She's not wailing like even those people who are para 2, para 3, the one who've had 3 or 4 children who are coming to give birth for the 4th time and they're wailing of labor pain. She was just there. When you do the first check, vaginal exam, she was almost. Our waters are already broke there, so we took her to the labor room. And when we did the second vaginal exams, the head was just there, and this girl was just
Hasikia uchungu. Of course anasikia uchungu, but
what I could tell, this girl has gone through so much trauma.
Maybe even at that point she's disassociated from the child.
This girl has gone through so much trauma. She can't even relate to anything happening to her. So the head was just there. And I don't want to say this, but it was like someone was just trying sex for the first time. Or maybe it wasn't really sex. Because her vaginal roof, orifice was just still so tiny. And we had to cut. Actually a big one, because hers was very, very small and it wasn't expanding very fast, and she's also very young. So cut mtoto atoke. in like 5 minutes we had removed the baby, tukamwekea kwa tumbo. We told her to hold the baby.
Hataweza
Kama
hata
ana
kushika
hold,
huyu mtoto.
mtoto akianguka.
Hataweza hata kushika huyu
We are
mtoto.
telling her push, she's just like,
She's a child.
and she's not crying. She's not making any reactions on her face. She's just having a flat affect. She's there. And she had no parent. Later on, she called me when we had finished the whole process.
Where was her parent?
Plus
Where was her?
There was no parent.
Walikuwa wapi? That's the thing about
So later on, she calls
There's
me.
so many
Like
systems are
once you're done
broken.
removing all the placenta and all those retained products and whatnot, then she gives me a small karatasi. She tells me call huyu mtu anilete basin. Then I call ilikuwa mama, like a neighbor too. And nikaambia amletee basin and a cup and whatever.
Maybe mama yake.
So later on I ask her, wapi nguo za mtoto? She gives me a small bag with like just that overall thing that is big, like for a 6 months old baby.
She doesn't know anything.
And no cape and a very light lasso. And I was like, wow. She didn't even know she was going into labor. It's like she didn't even know she was going into labor. So my point is, like, sex education should be normalized in school.
That should be the starting, the
So
roots.
sad.
Tunaanzia hapo, guys.
Sex education. Then we go to contraceptives. Teach them about abortion and pregnancy.
Yes.
And also in all this, there's knowledge, and then there's also knowing what to do in situations. You see, the way sex is not only that you're going to have sex and get pregnant and do this.
There are other
There are things like when you have sex with someone, you'll connect with them emotionally. You might find yourself
It's spiritual.
in limerence with this person.
Yes.
There are things you just get to understand about sex that's not necessarily the physical itself. Understand when if we've shed shame from everything sex, understand that the minute I'm abused, I can go. Or rather, if an abuser is attacking me, I can scream, I can do this. There's a lot of things where women are supposed to be, you're supposed to keep your calm at all times.
Yeah.
So we also need to teach children confidence, because there's something I said at a particular time. If you even look at abusers in families, or other victims of sexual abuse in families, they were the quiet child, the child who ule yapa mtoto tu ako na mdomo hakuna mtu mguza. So also confidence in your children, instill confidence in your children so that they can be able to know what to fight for themselves in particular situations. They know how to act in particular situations. Critical thinking. You see the way you went and had sex at 16. If you had you didn't even have to have sex education. If you had confidence as a child, you know your decisions, you know this is wrong. Wezi niambia hivi. You'd have not have had sex with that person. You didn't even need to know about sex, by the way. So also just raising human beings who can stand for themselves, are confident humans. They navigate the world knowing how to speak for themselves, what to do in certain situations. That is very important. Because why we are saying it's difficult to bully Gen Alpha and Gen Z, because
they are self-aware.
These people are self-aware. And ile
confidence.
hata saa zingine they are wrong, lakini kiburi. Kiburi, my friend, kiburi. So sometimes it's
Assertive.
because I'm imagining that girl was going through all of that, and she's disassociated from life, from maybe even from the time she was pregnant, from the time that incident happened. This girl has moved around like a zombie.
Maybe she's been abandoned by the parents.
Yeah, paka inge kwa hospitali azae ni zombie tu.
Yakwe peke yake.
Even the boyfriend or whoever,
Because she
the
didn't,
man.
to me, she didn't seem like someone who was actually having sexual intercourse several times.
Yeah.
She was so innocent.
That person, that girl, and you can imagine it's not just her. Now you're going to send her home with another human she's responsible for. Yeah. How sure are we that now this human will live a better quality life than the one she's living? Like it's just a vicious cycle that has to be broken at some point.
Again, Olive, this aspect of after you give birth, most people go into depression. Some people go into
Postpartum depression, yeah.
You know why? You're not ready. maybe you're not ready for this child, or there are just other factors
that come to play.
come
At
to
the end of the
play.
day, it's
Mtoto kupata mtoto, guys, it's not easy. As much as we say ati mtoto hukuja na sahani yake, even me when I was 25 and I knew I want a child by that time, I went through a lot. It's not easy. Unaweza kuwa hata na watoto kama watatu, but hata huyo wanne ndiye ataku mtoto we guys.
But pia
it's not easy.
Parents should be ready to support their children when they are pregnant, or not, like be ready to support your daughter.
Not only that, like hata before we get to supporting your daughter and your son, first of all, can we educate kids?
Yeah.
Wachanga hata kwanza, let's have this discussion, because there's a video of inakwanga tu hapo kwa simu yangu. I think now I have the strength and the confidence to post it on contraceptives and kids. I don't understand why parents give their kids contraceptives. As much as tunaogopa mimba, ogopa pia HIV, ogopa pia STIs. Teach your kids how to use condoms. That's the thing.
But teach them about contraceptives. Akienda kuweka jieke mwenyewe.
Kwanza let me tell you, you see the parents who give their kids contraceptives ati umemdungia 3 months, umemwekea Jadel. Now let me tell you, that one is the one that practices sex than
anyhowly, recklessly.
And that one is the one that carries around diseases like
Nafikiri.
nonsense.
Now our kids wako how old?
Even as early as 10.
Yeah.
Yes, babe. As early as guy, there is an influencer I saw on Instagram. There is an influencer.
There's something that is not right
in jail.
There is an influencer I saw, and people respect her a lot, and I unfollowed her because of that. And that was back in 2022. That's when I posted, I created that video na hadi usaiko kwa simu yangu nitaipost. At least and people kept telling her, and I remember going to her and telling her, you can't give a child who's 10 years contraceptives. Why aren't you teaching this kid about sex?
Hata amepata periods.
Amepata ina fuck up hormones zake. Itafika mali mtoto ataweza kuzaa.
Oh my god.
10 years. It pained me a lot as a mom, and I'm like, why not teach your kids about sex?
Because I'm sure that child hajui nini amekewa ama hana any knowledge about it.
Hajui ni nini. They
You
don't know.
at 10, what could you comprehend?
My daughter
That
is
medic should
8.
also be in jail.
My daughter is 8 years old. She's gonna be 10 in 2 years. She's still a child. All she thinks about is fairies and nini. Bado ataenda huko nje kucheza. As much as watoto wengine wao waenda huko kucheza na wanaenda kucheza kalongolongo in quotes.
Yeah.
And they're in their periods. Wewe kama mzazi, why haven't you taught your kids about sex? Why aren't you talking to her about these things? Wewe kama mwanaume kwa nini
it wasn't hormone blockers? Maybe the child wants to be trans.
Kuna babe Kenya, nitakwambia ni nani. Wacha tuanze kufanya hii podcast
off the camera.
and then nitawaambia off the camera.
2 hours.
I will tell you. Teach your kids about sex. Teach them about condoms. I insist. Teach your kids about condoms. Kids are having sex out here. Let's not pretend. Teach your kids about condoms. Show them how they are used.
And actually,
Also teach your
but first talk to them
kids,
about
not
sex.
only female,
Yeah,
also
all
the
of
male
them.
kids.
And also, if sex was so deshamed, I don't know if that's how. If sex was so deshamed to the point that kids had access to sex, like sex wasn't so shamed. Unaona vile nyumba zenye watu wanakunywa tu pombe openly.
Watoto wakunywangi.
Exactly. And those kids are able to handle their alcohol and they get to it. So if sex was just a thing that kids can interact with all the time, they're just like, oh, mommy and daddy are having sex. Oh, da, 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 da. Like it's a normal thing to them. It's not something they'll want to iba and go and check what is it like. If sex is just out there,
let me tell you.
I'm not allowed to have sex before I'm 18. When I'll have sex at 18, I'm supposed to use a condom. I'm supposed to take care of this. It is
That's
so
simple.
If you see kids who are exposed to things, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yani hata we kama mzazi unaweza toka uende safari and you are okay. You know your kids
are
will
fine.
be fine.
Exactly. Na wako na discipline. Venye unaambianga mtoto kukunywa askari mingi ni mbaya because of your teeth, and when you grow up this is what will happen. It's the same way you teach them about sex. It's the same way.
Yeah.
My daughter knows if I eat greens, mommy, why do I eat sukuma wiki or spinach, you tell her it's because it increases blood in your body because of this and this. She knows, but even if she doesn't like it, she has to take it. It's the same thing with sex. Start talking to your kids about sex. Talk to them about their vaginas. Talk to them about their penises. Talk to them about
body changes.
Body changes. If they like a cowboy, do not discourage, but do not entertain. However, don't tell them that it's wrong. Mongeleshe tu. Balance. As in, that's the thing.
Yeah, true.
And then hatutafika hii point yenye kids are going to go get rogue abortions because they were pregnant. But we've made sex.
And even with a kid who has a safe space at home, if they got pregnant, home is a place they can come back to.
Hey.
Where's Umeka? It's such a harsh situation at home. Your child
That's
is going
now
to
where I
die.
say be a supportive parent.
Yeah, true.
Hey, my lord.
Ebuni
Pole,
some
aki
area.
pole. Najua kidogo babe, kidogo. I'm sorry.
Fungua podcast,
Kuna issue, kuna kitu niliona, sorry. On your point ya shaming sex. Sex is shamed to even victims of rape.
Imagine.
I know a situation where you I know a situation where someone was raped and the family came, aki usijali, ukipata mimba bado tutalea. Yani in such a shameful
Viveca.
Hata unaambiwa tu
16 nashuku sana
ni
it
rape.
wasn't
unaambiwa hata niwe msichana
nashuku ni
ulijipeleka like
because really we have shamed it to the point that a child will be raped and a parent will not consider abortion for that child. They will put it upon themselves that a child gives birth to a child of rape. I know the child is innocent, but the reason
They'll
why
also
when
blame
you're
the child.
raped, they will also blame the child. But that is a reason why scare when there's rape involved, the first thing you go unapewa P2 na unapewa easy drugs za HIV. There is a reason why you're given that because of the stress that comes with it. Rape in itself is really bad.
And also
It's
the
a
psychological
situation,
care.
Yeah, the psychological care. I saw a situation, Jeremy had posted that there is a girl who was autistic and she was raped. And in my mind, the first thing, why didn't they take this child to abortion? Because iyo hata medica angesema tuende nayo because this child is autistic. She's not okay. She can't give birth to this
there
child.
was a situation that I saw that was like that. No, the child was also in a wheelchair. They only noticed her pregnancy at 7 months. What? So that's why I'm saying when you look at this situation, so many systems are broken. So many systems need to be fixed. First of all,
huyu mtoto wako wheelchair si anaoshwa si anafanyiwa vitu unakosa aje kunotice mimba.
Maybe it was because I'll find it. It was
hiyo si maybe unakosa aje kunotice una periods
because ilifika a point when anasema ati sijui her stomach started bulging is when now they went to the hospital nini. But yeah, the mama has been washing her daily.
But haionekani 7 months.
It's possible, lakini what about those periods?
Maybe hapo kwa periods ndo sasa
any changes
kama wanaogopa shame, the shame that families have to know that someone, yani we would rather take you through shit than
tarnish the family's
accept
name.
That this and tarnish the family, than accept and tarnish the family's name. Shame on you, parents. Shame on you if you're like that. Shame on you. Man, shame on you. As
I'm saying, even as you're angry, these things will take time. And just continue fighting. The kids of our kids will enjoy the society you're fighting for. And it's okay.
And also let's educate our friends, our neighbors.
Yes.
You know,
I think
the people
it
you
starts
come
with our
across.
kids. Like sasa wewe kid as evil.
and I like that
We're
my
breaking
friends,
that chain.
my friends talk to their kids about sex. Me, all the friends I have, we do this.
By the way, millennial
make it an
and Gen
open
Z parents,
conversation.
kudos.
Haya, soma sasa finally.
Someone said the thing is that we all want to relate with people on different nations that I guess, than us forgetting that societies are different and people in different societies react to these topics differently. I'm Ugandan and I will be honest. While I was younger, 13, 24 there, I was strictly against abortion. But the older I get, the more I understand. Some people really shouldn't be parents. Also, there are some situations and conditions that one shouldn't bring a child into.
True.
Also, some people are just fools. You cannot have unprotected sex
And then go
on your unsafe days and don't expect to get pregnant. I have no mercy for those people. At time, I feel like they should just have the child, probably give it up for adoption, or some fools don't deserve kids. All in all, let's keep popping them pills and using them condoms. Double or nothing, dude. We cannot afford unplanned kids in this economy. ABC for life.
Thank you. You cannot afford unplanned kids in this economy.
You cannot.
You cannot.
That's true.
You cannot.
And also, if, for anyone who is planning to have kids, not only talking about unplanned, plan also to go for preconception care. It helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because you learn about the psychological aspect of carrying this pregnancy before you carry it.
Yeah.
The physical aspect of it. You learn about diet. Actually, you learn about everything. You even learn about how to take care of yourself during this period of pregnancy, during the period of giving birth, and even after. You learn about a lot. So people should, I think preconception care is one thing that most people don't embrace.
No, they do not.
People just get pregnant, but we should normalize
Learning a
having
lot.
preconception care. Now that we know about contraception, now that we've talked about abortion, and we've said before you get to abortion, we use contraception.
Contraceptives, yes.
So when you're using contraception, obviously you'll be planning when you're going to have your child or when you're going to have your first or second child. So we should also normalize going for preconception care. It helps you a lot. And it also helps you to know if you're really ready to be a mother, if you're really ready to take care of this child. So that ukishajifungua, watu wasiseme, some people don't deserve to be parents. At least you learn better ways on how to take care of your child.
And also, I like that point a lot. It's something that we need out there, because you the only thing you hear about parenting and everything is once you get pregnant. And also on her point of you're having unprotected sex.
And expecting oranges.
Ulikuwa una expect nini? Mimi there's an TV. That's the issue that I have. And I usually say this. And there's a time I was telling Oliver about it. I don't know what topic we were talking about. But none of the podcast, I said that if you know that you do not want a child, kama unajua hutaki mtoto, why aren't you taking the necessary precautions?
Yeah.
Why? Kwa nini? Tafadhali. If you know in your heart that you do not want a child, don't go having gross sex. Unafikiri utapata nini? Peaches, apples.
No.
Utapata mtoto. And then when that child comes, unaanza mawoye. Hakuna huruma hapa. Huruma ni
abortion
estate.
ikuharibikia tuanze kukuhurumia.
Hapana.
No.
And another good thing with preconception care also, you have to involve your partner.
What
You
if
also
you
have
don't
to go
have?
through-
Do better.
Obviously someone you're planning to renew with. So you have to go through all those lab work.
Let me ask you, you can't have preconception care. I'm asking that because there's something I'll ask you later on off camera. But you can't have preconception care for people who do not have partners. Yani,
We can.
watu kama Olive,
We are just embracing the
kama-
male involvement in preconception care.
That makes
I
sense.
will talk to you.
We just
Also,
encourage
you realize
you,
a lot
yeah.
of the conversations are women-centered.
Oh, I get
Yet
what
these
you
people
mean.
are having sex with men. They're having children with
Wanaume
men.
mko wapi
So you see
pia?
preconception care is done before mnakuja wote mnafanyiwa all the lab work. Some they do even this test for genetical problems that you
Maybe I
need
need
have,
that one.
if they
Yeah.
have these genes for sickle cell.
Hold men give men responsibility. Hold men
Yes.
responsible for things.
And that's also a suggestion of something that should be done. Having that genetical, it's called
The
Genetical
screening.
screening.
genetical screening. ukue aware before you
have that
fike hapo,
child.
and then
Ulete mtoto ateseke kwa hii dunia na ashinde
In fact,
kumchunga.
kuna watu huwa nakasirikia but sina nguvu ya
kuambia,
open.
ndio.
Sometimes
I
it's
know.
the man but anakasirikia the lady ati hii shida ni yenu. But when they do an
Also-
actual screening, it's the man.
tunasemanga because everything is centralized on us, it is decentralized on us ladies, we can take the first step, mwambie wewe kuja twende.
Yeah.
Because they don't think yeye anaweza kuambia kuja twende, so wewe mwambie
And also,
twende.
improve, raise your standards.
Please.
The way I told people, since women stopped cooking, men have become chefs.
They've
Thank
become-
you.
They always say, nitakupikia.
The same way, if you refuse to have sex with low quality men,
You will-
those men will be forced to raise their standards.
And you will have,
Make sure you're holding jiheshimu
Depende.
so that watu you will only allow watu wamejiheshimu.
Don't have sex with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And also, that man that you're dating, ask them whether they know anything about contraceptives. Ebu first take that step because
Yeah.
Sure,
That's a
they only
good
know
point.
P2.
That's
For
a
sure
good
they only
point.
know P2.
if that man doesn't know about contraceptives, he's not ready to have sex.
Yes.
They
That's
only
a
know
good
P2.
point.
Inject.
Atakwambia zinadungangwa sijui they have
If he
zero
doesn't know
knowledge
about
about
contraceptives,
But it's also okay that I know people might not have knowledge, but you should have the openness. You should gauge
To
someone's
discuss.
openness to learn, to want to know things. Because even us, we're learning things right
Yeah,
now. Hata
yeah.
my podcast, tumelearn vitu mpya.
Sana.
Have someone, only date people who are willing.
but have general
Open-minded.
knowledge, babe. Akuna when you can be having sex here and you don't even have the general knowledge ati, kuna contraceptives sijui ya kudunga, kuna condoms. At least kuwa na ka knowledge kidogo. If I ask you about contraceptives and you're like, hizo ni nini?
ni za kufanya.
Ni za kufanya, si ni condom peke yake iko.
get out.
Hapana, you don't care about that woman
Because
that
your
you're having
partner's
sex
mental
with.
is also very dire to your own quality
Yes.
of life. When your woman ameshinda na mood swings, we pia umejaa. When your woman is going through postpartum depression, now you've gone to cheat at it because she's unbearable.
exactly.
If you understood these things, you'd know how to show
handle,
up for
yeah.
her. But anyway,
There's so many issues.
Itoshe.
This was nice.
Very, very informative.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
come
much.
to the
It's
end.
very long.
I
Yeah.
was enjoying. Nilikuwa nakuangalia na ngoja usome the next.
No, that was the
comment.
last one actually. Huyu amesema you cannot afford to have unplanned kids in this economy.
Inject.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Hey, thank you
Reject
very
unplanned
much.
kids.
Reject. Guys. Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you, Viveca. Thank you, Ivy. Thank you, Ciru, for coming.
You're welcome,
You've
dear.
given us so much. Yani, hii episode hata naweza eka pesa
Watu wataanguka
sponsored,
nayo.
watu wa watch because
It's a lot.
yeah, I feel like even me, I've just learned so much, and I feel like if this episode can be disseminated to kids in high school, if you're struggling, I feel like even you should do content for kids. Maybe people
That's
who
what I'm
are feeling
thinking.
kidogo shame
Yeah.
for talking to their children.
Yeah.
You just do videos to whatever that you can send to your child and they watch and learn over
I think
there.
it's something I'll do because Vicky mentioned showing her kids one of my episodes.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that I will do.
Also, there's another way that parents can use. Si lazima umuite ama umwambie hivi. You can be sending to videos. Can send to
I'll do
videos. Mwambie watch hii like
That
just
will
throw
need-
hints.
That will need a
Normalize
different page.
PDA.
Oh,
When
yeah.
kids see things out in the open, it's
Not
fine.
like
They can
soap opera
see
wakikiss,
cuddling and
tunaangalia
kissing,
kando.
and they're like, it's okay. It's just not for me. I'm a child,
Yeah.
but grown-ups are doing it. That's fine. Yeah. Anyways, hiya. Thank you very much. Let's close the episode at that. And until next week, this has been the In All Honesty podcast. My fabulous name is OLAVEORAWO. Bye.
Bye.
Next on the In All Honesty podcast.
We are closing in on season 4, and next week we will be talking about adulting for money, what it looks like just generally. Are you in the 8 to 5? Are you running a business? Are you in consultancy? Are you in freelance? Like, what has life looked like just trying to hustle, gaining different experiences? What insights have you learned? What are the lessons you have in working an 8 to 5 or running your own business or trying to switch between the two. So if you're the kind of person who like just has gone through the motions of it, what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned in life that are taking you through how you're gaining your money right now and how you're investing or rather managing your money? Let's talk about adulting for money. What has your experience been like? And I guess you can always reach out to me through my DMs at OLAVEORAWO, and you can also send me your stories through my email at OLAVEORAWO@gmail.com.
Do you hear that? Would you lend me some coins, please? The In All Honesty podcast needs you to continue running. I will deeply appreciate support from you. You can send monetary contributions to my Mpesa +254 728 171 059 via PayPal at OLAVEORAWO. That is OLAVEORAWO. You can support the podcast indirectly by buying merchandise and services I offer listed on my WhatsApp catalog. My WhatsApp number is +254 728 171 059. Did you think I'd forget? Advertise with the In All Honesty podcast. Hit me up to talk about it. You can do that via WhatsApp +254 728 171 059 or via email OLAVEORAWO@gmail.com, or you can also DM me on socials at OLAVEORAWO. You know the hand that gives will receive an episode every week. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm in what was once a dream. So if I do some quick math, the future equals a dream come true. Since 1992, In All Honesty, a podcast by OLAVEORAWO.